Popeye World, the adventure of Bermuda Triangle. It was a stormy night in the middle of the Bermuda Triangle. Popeye the sailor man, with his beloved Olive Oyl by his side, was navigating the rough, crashing waves in his trusty ship, the Olive Branch. Dark clouds swirled above, and the winds howled like wild wolves. The storm was relentless, battering the ship with monstrous waves, but Popeye, ever the determined sailor, gripped the wheel with one hand and kept Olive safe with the other. "We'll make it through, Olive," Popeye said, his voice steady despite the storm's fury. Olive clutched the side of the ship, her eyes wide with fear. "But Popeye, we're in the Bermuda Triangle. Legend says ships disappear here." Popeye winked at her. "Ain't no storm big enough to beat Popeye the sailor man, sweetheart." But just as he spoke, a massive wave, taller than any mountain, rose up from the deep, crashing into the Olive Branch with a mighty roar. The ship lurched violently, throwing both Popeye and Olive to the deck. The storm raged on as they clung to the wreckage, but the ship had already been torn apart. Before they could catch their breath, a monstrous figure appeared from the depths of the ocean. A creature with glowing red eyes, tentacles like massive ropes, and an immense scaly body that seemed to be made of both the sea and the dark storm clouds themselves. It rose from the water like a nightmare come to life. Poppy's muscles tensed as he prepared for a fight, but Olive gasped, horrified. "What are we going to do, Popeye?" In that moment of sheer panic, Popeye's gaze fell to his satchel. He pulled out a strange, glimmering can of spinach, one he had never seen before. The can was etched with mysterious symbols, glowing faintly in the storm's dim light. "I don't know what this is," Popeye said, his eyes narrowing, "but I'm gonna find out." Without hesitation, he opened the can and ate the spinach, and instantly an incredible surge of energy coursed through him. Popeye's muscles bulged larger than ever, and his veins pulsed like steel ropes. With his newfound strength, Popeye leaped into the air, delivering a punch so powerful it split the clouds above. The creature recoiled, its massive tentacles flailing wildly. The storm began to subside, the sea calmed, and the creature, shocked and defeated, sank back into the ocean with a terrified shriek. But just as Popeye thought the danger had passed, the sky split open above them, and a massive, swirling vortex of light appeared. It was a wormhole, pulsing with energy, beckoning them forward. "What in the world is that?" Olive asked, her voice trembling as she stood beside Popeye. Popeye, with a confident grin, took Olive's hand. "Ain't no turning back now, Olive. We're going for a ride." Together, they jumped into the vortex. The world around them twisted and spun, colors blending into a kaleidoscope of light and shadow. For a moment, it felt as though time and space had no meaning. But then, with a sudden jolt, they landed with a soft thud on solid ground. They stood on a beach unlike any they had seen before, bright, vibrant, and strange. Palm trees swayed, but the sky was filled with sparkling constellations that weren't in any star charts Popeye had ever seen. "Where are we, Popeye?" Olive asked, eyes wide with awe. "Welcome to Popeye World, the metaverse like no other. Here you can buy and sell virtual lands, NFTs, and even create your own adventure. Step into a new world where anything is possible. Own land, build your dreams, and interact with other users in the world of Popeye and his friends. Welcome to the future of fun." Olive stared at the screen, completely bewildered. "Wait, you mean we're in some sort of video game or virtual world?" Before Popeye could respond, another holographic display appeared, showing a map of Popeye World, an entire virtual island where people could buy land, trade NFTs, and create their own versions of Popeye's world. There were areas marked with familiar names: Spinach Bay, Bluto's Island, Olive's Garden, and more. Popeye raised an eyebrow. "So let me get this straight. People can come here and trade stuff, and make their own worlds. Well, I ain't exactly sure how this all works, but I like the sound of it." As they looked around, other strange figures appeared on the horizon, characters from different parts of the Popeye universe, all living and interacting in this strange virtual world. Popeye's old rival Bluto, along with Wimpy and Sweepy, all appeared as avatars, walking around and chatting. Olive looked at Popeye. "So we can live here too, in this world?" And just like that, Popeye and Olive embraced the future, ready to explore a strange new virtual land where they could trade, explore, and create in a never-ending digital world. A world that promised both challenge and excitement. The world of Popeye's adventures was reborn, bigger and more exciting than ever. Build and trade now in Popeye World Metaverse. Log into POPEYEWORLD.io now.